This is the first video in our homesteading series. I've done some gardening here and there before in containers, but we really want to go full scale with our property. Looking at maybe next year putting in some garden beds throughout here. We live in Albuquerque and it's kind of hard to keep grass alive anyway, so I'd like to put a row of raised beds through here, probably with center block. That way build them once and I don't have to rebuild them. And it's a little too late in the year right now to start, so may build the beds next year and start planting them year after. The raised beds on top are mostly rose bushes. I like to leave those in, but I'm thinking about doing something perennial underneath them, like maybe get some asparagus crowns or something like that to put underneath. That way I don't have to keep disturbing the roots of the rose bushes. My topsy-turvy tomatoes here, the only thing that's ever done well in them have been peppers, so I think I'm going to continue doing my peppers in those. Lower bed here, I'm looking at maybe doing some strawberries and keep that perennial as well. I did eggplants back there where the mulch is right now on the lower bed. They did well there. I think I might do those again there. And under here, maybe since this is nice morning sun, get a lot of shade, maybe do some grow boxes with lettuce and things of that nature in there. This little greenhouse that we had here, it didn't work out too well. It had a plastic cover on it, but we get very high winds here in Albuquerque, and this thing got blown all over. I tried tying it down with 4 big stones at the bottom, and it still got blown over. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to address that. I'm still working on some ideas there. I put this peach tree in when we bought the house a few years ago. Pretty good size. We didn't get any peaches this year off of it. Last year was the first year we got peaches. I didn't get a chance to prune it because I was out of state for most of the summer. By the time I came back, the heavy fruit load had bent the tree over, so I got to work on getting the tree back up straight. Got blackberries along here. These are one of the first things I put in, and I'm going to keep these here. They've done very well for me. Right now it's the end of the season. They're kind of thinning out, but I have 2 plants here, and these produce more than enough blackberries for us. Going to the side yard here, and this is where most of my gardening has been. I didn't really do anything this year because of time constraints. But I have some pots in here. It's kind of a little makeshift. I just grabbed some 5-gallon buckets and started growing that. Might do something a little bit nicer in the future. We'll see. I have 3 grapevines along here, which this was the first year we actually got grapes, and they've done really well. And small variety of apple tree here. These were Honeycrisp, and yet again, this is the first year we got apples out of it. And those came out really well. The only thing I did plant this year that wasn't that was annual were cucumbers, and it was just this one. I've gotten a few cucumbers off of it, but it's kind of like I planted this year and kind of forgot about it. And we got a Carmen Jewel bush. We have yet to get cherries off this. This is the 2nd year it's been in the ground. This back section here, I have raspberries. And raspberries will spread. All this came from one plant I planted in the middle. So they're pretty well contained by the patio and the wall, so don't have to worry about it too much. We are looking at starting with bees maybe next summer, and I'm thinking about putting 1 hive back here, and I'm not sure where I'm going to stick the rest of the hives. I was thinking about putting them on the roof, but I'm not sure exactly how much the hives weigh and if the roof will take it. We have flat roofs here in New Mexico, so if the roof can take the load from the hives when they're full of honey, then I think I'm going to do my bees on the roof. That way I'll save a little bit more space. Also looking at doing meat rabbits, and I think I'll put those in the back along that wall. And we like to do chickens. The only problem is here we don't really have the room for them to graze and forage for their own food, so we'd be mostly feeding them. So I need to do a little more research to see if it's really worth keeping chickens if you have to feed them full time and they can't forage really for any of their own food. Plus, I don't want to keep them, in a tiny box. So I'd like to have them, give them a little bit of room at least to roam and move around. And I might do some beehives along the back wall. I'm not really sure. So, yeah, this is just kind of the beginnings of it. Been looking at homesteading stuff for a couple years now, but gardening a little bit here and there, but I want to get a little more serious and go full time with this. So hopefully, like I said, next year we can really get things moving.